Hi, my name's Todd, and this is my dooryard. It is currently a very comfortable 295 degrees Kelvin, and you guys can do your own conversions now. I guess today's plan is we're going to try and tune this engine, get it running a little bit better, finish chasing out all our fluid levels and ensuring that we are in the neighborhood of what we want. That's looking not too bad. And maybe run for a heat cycle. We're going to start with setting the dwell. Yeah, let me get that set up. Okay, let me see if I can explain this in a way that it actually makes sense so that we're all on the same page. Okay, so this is the coil. There are two coils in here. There's the low voltage exterior coil that gets 12 volts from the battery through the keyed switch that goes out to the points in the distributor right here. And when the points are closed, there's a 12 volt charge that goes in this side of the coil, out that side of the coil. And what happens is an electric field going through, an electric charge going through a coil of wire creates a magnetic field. That magnetic field excites the other coil of wires that is in the middle of it, and it builds a charge. When the points open, that magnetic field collapses and forces the built-up charge to discharge out of the high voltage side and into the distributor, where it goes through the rotor button to one of the cylinders. Now, this takes time. It's not a lot of time, but a very specific amount of time. You know, it's fractions of a second, but it happens. So what happens is the points being closed allows the charge to build. How long the points are closed is the important part. We set the gap with a feeler gauge because some engineer somewhere has done the extensive high-level math to figure out how much opening equates to how long of duration of dwell. So the actual number that we want is dwell. And so that's what we're going to try and do today. This pickup goes right there, and we got it charged up, and this is our dwell gauge. And we got to have the car running, and there's no point in having that on there like that. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is set the 0, and you can see I've got that set. This is our 8-cylinder scale right here, this top row of numbers on this, and we're on dwell, and we're in low. Okay, according to my Ford shop manual, the number we're looking for is between 26 and 28 and a half. So there's no point in adjusting it if we're going to be within that to begin with. So I'm going to go start the car, and you guys watch this, and we'll see what happens. There, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that now. Let's go ahead and power that system up. And let's turn the key and see what happens. And what do we got? Oh, we need to adjust it. So let's shut it off and we'll go through that process. Oh, okay, or just let it stall. All right. Setting the dwell. Let's take this rare and hard to find piece of tooling away so we're not tripping over it. Let's get you guys over here so you can more closely watch what we got going on. Let's get the coil wire off here so get I need some tools. I'll be right back. All right, let's pop this cap off here. Come on. And set you right up there for now. All right, and the rotor button can come off. All right, in order to do this, we got to have power on and be able to supply power to the starter solenoid while I'm out here and adjusting this. So let's think, do I need to ground this? Do I need to ground? I don't think I do. I guess I'm going to do a little bit of manual reading and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Okay. We're pretty close to set up here. And yes, that coil did need to be grounded. There we go. Okay. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so the gap is too open. Let's power that off for a moment. I need a sheet of paper to be able to reach in there effectively. Okay, so you want to close the gap just a whisker. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Well, obviously we went the wrong way, didn't we? Because now it is less than it should be. So let's Okay. And one more time. Third time is the charm. Maybe. Tough telling, not knowing. All right. We're happy with that. And let's shut that off before we get too much further ahead of ourselves here. All right. Let's unground that. Let's not be forgetting to put the rotor button back on, Todd. Yeah, it's amazing how easy those go on when it lines up right. Okay, and the coil wire on. All right, we take a quick pause and think about what we're doing here. I just threw another pint in this and we're in the window. Let's look underneath the car, see if we get any fresh leaks. Oh yeah. That's fresh. Where the hell is that leaking from? Investigation time. Okay. We got drip drip happening there pretty aggressively. And it's wet all the way along that surface. I think it might still be that. That's because if it's running out of there, because that is obviously fresh wet. But wow, that's a lot in just that short amount of cranking. All right, let me clean this up, and I'll try and give that flare nut another little tighten, and see if we maybe can't solve this. Because yeah, it's going to be kind of frustrating if we've done all this and it's for another big giant freaking leak. Okay, I got a little bit more out of that. I wound up having to go dig out my crow's foot set to be able to reach onto it to get some leverage, and I got another 1/8 of a turn out of that. I wiped all this down really good. Let me get this so that, yeah. Okay, so it was leaking through that seam really good. You can still see some wet up in there, but I wiped it down best I can. Let's do some cranking and come back here and inspect again. We're just going to crank for a few moments. All right, what do you suppose the odds are that we got that solved? Let's turn the light on. Ba-dum-bum. Hey, that doesn't appear like there's anything fresh there. Okay. Oh, we still got a drip. Looks like right there. Yeah. And I know I wiped that all off. So maybe that's not our leak. Maybe we actually are a little bit loose here. Let's Looks like it's squirting the gasket out right there. Not a big fan of that. Let's those are all 1/2 inch. I'm gonna need a socket. Let's try and get like a 1/16 of a turn on those. I don't want to over tighten them. Push comes to shove, I'll call the transmission guy and see what he's got to say about it. Alright, so that was a few moments of run, and we are definitely, we're purging out of somewhere. I got out my torque wrench. I tried snugging this one and it was barely more than finger tight. So I looked up the torque spec at 10 to 13 foot-pounds and got them all to within spec. Went around like 3-4 times. Everything's making the wrench go click without making it turning the bolt any. So I'm pretty sure if I'm not on the number, I'm pretty close to it. So, but at least they're all even. Let's wipe this corner down really good. This is where it seems to be leaking, and we'll try another fire up run for a moment, shut it off. See it come back down and see what we got. I'm going to flip this piece of cardboard over and slide it over so we can see if there's anything fresh. And the verdict is, oh, we're still leaking. At a pretty aggressive rate. Drip, 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 drip. This is not what I wanted. It kind of looks like it's leaking out between the bell housing and the case, doesn't it? It's like wet all the way along there. I think we got that solved. Get the light on it, Todd. Yes, there's no new drip there. Oh, how do I solve that? Because it's not front seal, or else I'd be wet in here. So, torque converter. Come on, torque converter to into the front of the pump. It's okay. Let me make a couple of phone calls and we'll see what we get. Well, that is indeed quite discouraging. What do I do? What do I do? I suppose what I should do is throw a handful of kitty litter there to pick that up rather than that cardboard, because, you know. Yeah. Let's try and save that piece of cardboard before it gets any more oil soaked. So we'll throw a little pile of kitty litter down there. And then I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do. I could still set the timing, and the car won't idle on its own, so maybe I can do an idle adjustment and we can figure that out. If it ain't one thing, it's 5 others. I tell you, I'm feeling a little discouraged at the moment. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. What do we got for an idle RPM? I get an idea of turn it up just a little bit. we ain't even gonna screw with looking at what that was, because we're just gonna turn up the idle RPM just a little bit, and we'll see what that gets us. That's over on this side of the carburetor with this screwdriver, and we're gonna give it a half turn. No, we're gonna give it a full turn, because you know what, we can always back it out a little bit later. What'd we get? And that's not reading at all, is it? That's not going to be annoying at all. Sounds pretty good though. Oh yeah, and fluid's just pouring out. Oh. Oh. That seems to be a little high. All right. Let's shut this bird down, and well, we got big stinky oils going there. We got good oil, well, we got oil pressure. I don't know about good. Okay. Now what? Now what? Okay, we got this, what I'm sure is going to be a leak somewhere in there, plugged for vacuum. We got the distributor vacuum advance disconnected and plugged. We got the timing light hooked up. Let's touch this off again for a second, see how close we are to timing correctly. Well, I guess we used that battery all up. Let's get the charger out here and get it set up so that we can wake that up. All right, so we'll touch off the charger for a little while. I talked to the transmission builder guy, and he'll come up and give it a look probably sometime middle of next week. I don't know. Worst case scenario, the transmission's got to come back out and go back to him. Bloody hell. Isn't that awesome? Hopefully he's got like, oh yeah, it's this and it's solved. But we'll worry about that after a bit. We had quite a bit of smoky happening over here. What do you suppose it might have been? That valve cover, probably. The valve cover right there leaking onto the exhaust manifold. I don't see any fresh leaks, so that's a good sign. We definitely are using up that kitty litter back there. Oh. It's a sickness. And I am apparently a sick, sad bastard. Because, yeah. Here we go now. Alright, so we'll give this a little bit of time on the charger so we get our battery back. And we'll We'll see if we can get timing dialed in a little bit closer. Oh yeah, I'm sure you guys, it's probably all blinky blinky for you guys. That's not any dust. There's no dust on that at all. That doesn't impede its function though, I'm sure. That dust, that's just, that's nature's preservative, right? All right, so yeah, we'll give this a little bit of time, and then we'll try it again, I guess. Okay, after screwing around a little bit more and talking to a few people on the phone and doing some other stuff, I found that I was leaking out the other trans coolant line, so I gave that a little bit more of a snug up, and I put that fresh piece of cardboard. Hey, Rag, you stay right there. I'm coming to go get you. All right, so I put a fresh piece of cardboard. We're gonna try a short fire up and run and see if we get any fresh drips. Come here, you. All right, let's see how this works. Okay, battery's back on the charger. We'll figure out what we're doing with that in a minute. Yeah. I still can't seem to maintain a decent idle. But after talking to a few people, it was suggested to me that I cycle the transmission through the gears, and I'd like to see that happen, but I got to get it to run and idle first. I should quit screwing around with that gearbox. Quit screwing around with the gearbox, Todd. Give it time on the charger. Don't rush shit. Let's get the timing accurately set before we do anything else. So, cut it out, quit screwing around, take a break, let it run. Let the charger do its thing. Okay, so neighbor Jordan came by and gave me a hand. We got it better timed. I was still a tooth off. We got it so that it's pretty close to 6 and in the middle of the adjustment range, so that's a bonus. We got the car so it'll idle. I cycled through the transmission, all the gears, the tire turns the correct direction, so that's a bonus. Set up for transmission builder guys, gonna swing by probably the middle of next week. Before that happens, I need to buy a crap load of brake clean and get underneath there and brake clean the living bejesus out of the transmission and clean that all up really, really, really good and dry it all off and let it sit for a couple of days so that when he shows it up, when he gets here, we can fire the car up and actually see where it's leaking from. Hopefully. But that's the plan for now. Today we did not get as big a bite out of the elephant as we were hoping for, but it runs better. Still got that wicked valve knock though. I'm a little concerned about that. I was hoping to get, some heat into the engine and hopefully maybe get that to come out of it, but I guess that's not happening, not today. Please like, subscribe. I'm just getting tired. Please like, subscribe, click the little bell icon, change the bell to black, and get notified of any new videos as they come up. As always, thanks for sticking around, and we'll catch you next time. This has been an Empty Pockets production.